So I think we've kept experimental elements in our music, which is a bit more unusual. We've also tried to keep some of our sort of roots grounded into the music. But obviously, as you say, with Ableton and Bitwig and all the new programs and new sounds and software, soft synths, you know, we're able to create sort of fuller sound. Probably the sound we wanted to create, you know, back in the sort of day.
Before you could do it. The operator release, which was a series of custom-made loops, gave other artists the chance to dig into portion-controlled sound. This was similar to the open source movement in software. What inspired you to open up your sound for other artists?
Well, I think whenever we do a release or whenever we prepare material, we do quite a lot of sound design in advance of building the tracks. We had a number of loops. We tend to build loops at 4 bars at 110 BPM. We had a big bank of these, and we thought, well, you know, why not put them out there and let people sort of have a play, you know, dig into them and reconstruct their stuff using them. So I mean, that suits us fine. You know, we've never been sort of protective of our sounds or of what we do. You know, we're a pretty open source operation, really.
The metal box set from the vinyl on demand was the definitive collection of your earlier works. Is there a lot of interest in that many from your new generation of fans?
It's difficult for us to say because the metal box stuff was obviously done by Frank. What's it called? What's his?
Vinyl on Demand.
Oh yeah, Vinyl on Demand. So, but it was a limited run, and I think it's virtually sold out. So, whether or not we release it in sort of CD form into the future, but there's always a demand. I think for most of the older statesmen of electronic music, there's a demand for the older material. But whether or not new people are coming into the scene, I don't know.
Well, it's a generation issue with the vinyl versus CD, really.
Yeah. But plus the roots of industrial now are a long time ago. You know, if you look at the roots of industrial, as we understand it, you know, you're probably talking about early 80s.
Yeah, even a little bit before.
Even a little bit before, which obviously makes it, you know, unfortunately a long time ago.
The song Refugee deals with a very different contemporary theme, particularly here in Sweden. What is your immediate response to the current refugee crisis?
It's difficult.
It's a very difficult situation, and obviously it's quite a serious situation.
I can't think of anything worse than being, you know, if you think of your own situation, you know, imagine being displaced from what you've got, you know, to have to sort of leave everything and it's just, you know, it's sort of unimaginable. But
we have a very cosy lifestyle in the West, and it's very hard to imagine what these people go through and what you would do if you were in their situation.
But a lot of PCs, constructions and that have been around the sort of, you know, I'm not talking about refugees necessarily, but the underdog, you know, and, you know, I mean, it's not political, but it's, you know, obviously it's meant to highlight certain softer issues. But, you know, we've never professed to be a political band, you know, absolutely not.
I mean, the lyrics were written 30 years ago, and, you know, and the refugee situation is not a new situation.
No, it's been around for
forever.
Well, with this question now from what are your memories of working with Arthur Baker?
Yeah, Arthur Baker we worked with on one single, didn't we, for London Records.
Which he remixed.
Yeah, which he did a remix for.
We got on very well with him, actually, didn't we?
It was massive, wasn't it? It was like a massive huge, you know, as bigger physically as he is a character. And we got on really well with him.
And at the time, he was probably at the peak of his popularity.
Yeah.
and we got on very well, and we were pleased with what he did with the track, and he was certainly very sympathetic to our kind of sound, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
But then it never really worked out with the record company, so it never really got much further.
Well, a privilege to work with someone
Yeah.
of that stature for us. Yeah, I think in all our years, we've never really worked with many other people, have we? We did a little bit of work with Chris Carter, a little bit with Arthur Baker,
A little bit with Youth.
a little bit with Youth, yeah. So, you know, we've got sort of certain ways that we work, and we've done it. You know, we've sort of operated for so long that we're sort of setting our rut really, and I don't feel comfortable imposing how we operate on anybody else.
No.
Well, this is the most important question. What can we expect from Portion Control in the future?
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of honing a live set, so we are playing. Well, obviously we play tonight in Sweden, and we are playing. You know, we don't play often, but we are sort of building our live set to be as punchy, and because we had this sort of vision, you know, donkeys years ago. You know, it was these driving bass lines, you know, uncompromising, all electronic, never think other than sort of this pure electronic mantra, which we've kept for the whole period of Portion Control. So we're honing the live set, but not sure what to do about CDs and releases, because we're obviously building new stuff all the time, but it's really difficult to know whether to invest in producing a CD that's then sold, or whether to do download only. But I mean, I must say that we're just about to release something, and we used to do an Onion Jack series, which was more experimental pieces, but drums and loops were never that far away from it, were they?
No.
And we're working on that now. That's about 3/4 of the way through. Plus, there's about 4 or 5 more traditional songs. So we are going to bundle that up and at some point release it. How long it will be, you know, in terms of how many tracks, and what form it's going to take, we're not sure. But we're sort of.
But there is new material.
Yeah.
On the way.
On the way. And we started to incorporate it into the live set as well. So, you know, we can sort of take a monitor on how it's being received and stuff. But yeah, you know, we love our machines. You know, we're slaves to them, aren't we? Yeah. You know, we're definitely going to release some new material pretty soon.
We're looking forward to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.